General Hospital nurses' ball mayhem, arrests, betrayals, and a shadow on the horizon. The annual nurses' ball has always promised glamour, music, and the occasional scandal, but the May 20, 2025, installment of General Hospital delivered something far more explosive. As residents of Port Charles descended upon the red carpet in gowns and tuxedos, the event quickly unraveled into a whirlwind of shocking arrests, familial confrontations, and the eerie presence of an unknown figure watching from afar. Beneath the surface sparkle, tensions were at a boiling point, threatening to turn this once celebratory affair into a battlefield. It began with the highly anticipated red carpet rollout. Co-hosts Drew Kane and Nina Reeves, freshly minted allies with a shaky history, stood shoulder to shoulder, smiling for cameras while expertly dodging the undercurrent of hostility radiating from nearly every guest they greeted. Their joint hosting gig was less of a collaboration and more of a truce, a performance for the public eye that masked the fractured relationships behind the scenes. Both carried invisible baggage, Drew's recent legal troubles and Nina's endless war of words with almost every Quartermaine and Corinthos in town. The cracks began to show when Brooke Lynn Quartermaine and Harrison Chase arrived, poised and radiant, ready to pose for the cameras. Their walk down the carpet, however, came to an abrupt halt. A phone call from Police Commissioner Max Scorpio changed everything. With a heavy heart and a face that betrayed his confusion and reluctance, Chase answered the call of duty. What should have been a romantic evening with his wife turned into a public act of professional obligation. As onlookers and photographers leaned in, Chase stepped forward, badge visible, and uttered the words that sent gasps through the crowd. "Tracy Quartermaine, you're under arrest." The moment was surreal. Tracy, matriarch of the Quartermaine family and one of the ball's long-standing patrons, was stunned. Her expression oscillated between disbelief and fury as Chase began reading her rights, the flashbulbs immortalizing every second. The charge? Drugging Drew Kane. It was a bombshell allegation that not only cast suspicion on Tracy's recent activities but also reignited long-simmering tensions between her and Drew. When Mac later disclosed that a vial of ketamine had been discovered in her car, Tracy's eyes darkened with realization. This wasn't just a case of being caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was being set up, and she knew exactly who was pulling the strings. Back on the carpet, the atmosphere, already thick with awkwardness, grew stiffer. Drew, in his role as co-host, tried to maintain composure even as whispers spread like wildfire. Nina, ever the strategist, leaned into her practiced poise, using charm to gloss over the scandal unraveling just feet away. But they couldn't hold the facade forever. The carpet's final guest arrived in a moment that shifted the energy entirely. Willow Corinthos stepped out of her car with quiet elegance. Draped in a soft, silken gown and a calm expression that belied the chaos around her, she radiated grace. But her presence sparked something far deeper than admiration. Drew's demeanor faltered momentarily, his forced smile fading as he turned to Willow, who, despite everything, had chosen to show up. It was Nina who broke the silence, introducing Willow with a trembling voice that struggled to hide the intensity of their shared history. For all their past betrayals and fragile reconciliations, tonight was supposed to symbolize unity. But old wounds have a habit of bleeding when least expected. Unbeknownst to everyone under the spotlight, a darker presence loomed in the background, literally miles above them. A sleek private jet sliced through the night sky, its single passenger calmly monitoring the red carpet proceedings via livestream. Dressed sharply in a charcoal suit and seated in solitude, the man's identity was obscured, but his gaze remained fixed on one person, Willow. He leaned forward as she posed with Drew and Nina, his fingers drumming rhythmically against the armrest. Whoever he was, he had business in Port Charles, and the nurses' ball was just his opening act. Speculation erupted almost instantly. Could the mysterious man be Michael Corinthos, returning early from his business trip or recovery to reclaim his place beside Willow? Or was this a new player altogether, someone with ties to Willow's past or Drew's secrets? Either way, his calculated silence spoke volumes. Back inside the ballroom, murmurs of Tracy's arrest continued to swirl. Ned and Olivia struggled to contain the damage, fielding questions from curious guests and fielding press inquiries about what this meant for ELQ. Meanwhile, Brooke Lynn, though shaken, stood firm by Chase's side, her loyalty to both her husband and her family creating a painful schism she couldn't easily resolve. As Drew and Nina delivered their final remarks and welcomed the audience into the ballroom for the evening's performances, they were acutely aware that the show no longer belonged to them. The night had been hijacked by secrets, sabotage, and the reawakening of vendettas once thought buried. And somewhere beyond the spotlight, the jet's mystery guest prepared to descend, his destination clear, his intentions anything but. The nurses' ball, once a glittering celebration of charity and togetherness, had morphed into a powder keg of deception. Arrests, betrayals, and the ominous shadow of a return all signaled one unavoidable truth: the real show hadn't even started yet. And when it did, no one, least of all Willow, would be ready for the fallout.